What's good with the fight fans, man? It's Kijana back with another fight card prediction this week. UFC 266, Ortega versus Volkanovski. A lot of people have been waiting for this one to happen. I'm pretty excited about it. I do feel like it's going to be kind of one-sided, but they're both fucking savages, man. I'm really looking forward to the fight. There's about 4 or 5 fights on this card that I'm pretty excited to watch. But this is going to be my prelim predictions, so stick around for my main card predictions on the next video as well. First fight, Omar Morales versus Jonathan Pierce. 11-1 record for Omar Morales, and Jonathan Pierce has a 10-4 record. Omar Morales' only loss is to Giga Chikadze, and we all see what Giga's doing. We've seen how he fought against Edson Barbosa. I was completely wrong on that pick. I did say that Giga was good enough to beat Edson Barbosa, but I just didn't feel like he was going to beat him in that type of fashion. Edson Barbosa's been around for a while. Giga's kind of like the new dude on the block. But Omar Morales went the distance with him. His last fight was against Shane Young, and he beat him. Jonathan Pierce, he got TKO'd by Joe Lozon, and that's just not a good... Joe Lozon's good. He was like an average fighter back then, but yeah, he got TKO'd by Joe Lozon in the first round, and that was back in 2019 when Joe Lozon was already kind of on his way out. He beat Kai Kamaka by TKO, which is pretty impressive, but I think Omar Morales is going to just walk this guy down and probably get a second round TKO. That's my guess on this one. I mean, he does have 8 KOs, so don't count Jonathan Pierce out. He definitely probably could. I don't think, actually, I take that back. I don't think that he's going to be able to sleep Omar Morales. I don't think he's really going to be able to tag Omar Morales. He's fucking gritty, dude. He walks most of his opponents down, and he can take a shitload of punishment. So I'm rocking with Omar Morales on this one. I definitely think he's going to get it done. And he's a negative 150. That's actually that's a pretty good play if you want to parlay him with somebody. He does have a 2-inch reach advantage. He's got a 1-inch height disadvantage, 6 foot versus 5'11". It's probably going to go the distance, or it's going to be a TKO victory in the second or third round, I think, for Omar. So yeah, that's my pick for that one. These are the early prelims. Next fight, Mathew versus Martin Sano. I'm rocking with Mathew Semmelsberger. I don't know if I'm going to pick him for a parlay because he's like a negative 550, which I don't think he should be that big of a favorite in this one. I'm pretty sure he's fighting a debuter. I've never really heard, I haven't heard too much about Martin Sano. I think I've only watched 1 fight of him. But Mathew Semmelsberger, he went the distance with Chaos Williams, and Chaos is he's a stud, dude. Chaos knocks people out with 1 punch. He's got that 1-punch knockout power. He couldn't put Semmelsberger away, and Semmelsberger was actually kind of coming back in the 3rd round. He's got an 8-3 record. He KO'd Jason Witt. He beat Carlton Minus. Those aren't really crazy names to have like wins over, but at the same time, like, he's just getting started. He's 2-1 in the UFC, and his only, like I said, his only loss was to Chaos Williams. And we see how much power and how explosive and just how technical that guy is and how good he's getting. Martin Sano is 1 KO victory and 3 submission victories, 1 KO loss. He's on a 2-fight losing streak and a draw versus Diego Herzog. That was back in Bellator in 2017. So I can see why Semmelsberger is actually a big favorite in this one now that I'm looking at this guy's record. I can't remember the last time I think the last time I watched him fight, it might have been he does have a win against Jeff Neal. It might have been against Jeff Neal, but that was back in 2013. I don't think I've ever seen this guy fight, actually. I feel like his name reminds me of somebody, but I just I can't think of it right now. So yeah, he has a rear naked choke win over Jeff Neal. He has a triangle choke win over Adam Gonzalez. Those are wins way back when, though, man. So he has a 3-1 amateur career. Yeah, I just don't see him beating Semmelsberger. He's gonna probably try to take him down, but I don't see him getting the job done in this one. I just don't see it happening. Semmelsberger has pretty good wrestling defense as well. Right, actually, he's a negative 500 right now. Yeah, I think Semmelsberger gets it done. I think he either gets a TKO in the 2nd or 3rd round, or he's probably going to get a decision victory. Next fight, Cody Brundage versus Nick Maximov. Both of these guys are making their debuts. 6-0 versus 6-1. I honestly think this is the only fight that I don't know too much about. I have never heard of either one of these guys. 2 KOs and 3 submission victories. I'd have to watch some tape on him. But yeah, he has a lot. It looks like looks like Nick Maximov has a lot of finishes, man. He's got a TKO in round 1 versus Nick Piacic. He's got a Kimura. I mean, he's pretty versatile. He's got 2 rear naked choke wins and 2 TKOs, so, and 2 decisions, or 1 decision. Yeah, man, this guy's, I mean, from his record, he seems like he might be good, but I'm going to have to watch some tape on both of these. I don't even know if I'm going to give you guys this pick. I might come back and give you guys this pick later on, because I got to watch these dudes before I just throw you guys a pick out there. I got to at least see a few fights, a few highlights, and see who they've lost to. This guy has 1 KO loss against William Knight, and we see how explosive William Knight is. The dude is a fucking savage, super acrobatic. He used to weigh like 290 pounds or something. William Knight is a fucking beast, dude. He's going to be a problem in that division. But yeah, he lost to him on the Contender Series. So his last win was in February against Joseph Kropshot by arm triangle choke. He does have 2 submission wins and 3 KO wins. These guys actually stack up pretty evenly versus each other. 6'1" for Cody. I want to see what Nick's height is. 5'11" for him. So he has a 2-inch height disadvantage. Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm not going to pick that one for you guys yet. I'm going to come back and give you guys that pick later on. But this next fight I want to talk about, Uros Medjic versus Jalin Turner. 7-0 Uros Medjic versus Jalin Turner is 11-5. 6'3" for Jalin Turner, and a 6-inch reach advantage. That's going to play dividend. I know Jalin Turner is, I think, a +100 or +125 underdog right now. It says he's a +100. I think he'll end up being closer to probably even odds. And I honestly think Jalin Turner might be a good pick in this one as an underdog for a parlay. The dude, he's got fast twitch muscle. He uses range pretty well. He's a very good kickboxer. He's pretty cerebral with his fighting style. He kind of knows how to use his range very well without getting hit too much. His only loss that I really remember that was pretty brutal was versus Vicente Luque, and that's because he was going up weight class. He's naturally a lighter fighter. He's on a 2-fight winning streak versus Joshua Kulabau and Brock Weaver. Those aren't crazy wins to have. Kulabau is super, super tough, and Kulabau was hanging in there with him for a while. He was taking a lot of punishment, and he finally got TKO'd in the 2nd round. And Brock Weaver, he's just not UFC caliber, and that's why he's not in the UFC anymore. He got rear naked choked, and I think he's been rear naked choked a few times. But Uros Medjic, man, this guy has 5 KOs and 2 submission wins. He doesn't go the distance, so that's what his record shows. He beat Alan Cruz by TKO in the 1st round. That was a decent performance. But he's only 1-0 in the UFC. I think Jalin Turner's going to get it. I think Jalin Turner's going to take that O away from him. So I'm rocking with Jalin Turner on this one. Yeah, I think it goes the distance or he sleeps him. One or the other. Most likely he's going to sleep him. That's my opinion on it. Next fight, we're going into the prelims now. Roxanne Modafferi, ranked number 9 versus Taila Santos, ranked number 12. God damn, Taila Santos is a -410. I mean, Santos is really good. She's fucking really good. And but ever since that Macy Barber win that Roxanne Modafferi had, it's really, really tough for me to pick like any fights with her in it, because Roxanne, like, she's not a great fighter. Everybody knows that. But she's tough. She's pretty gritty. And she's always the underdog. Every single fight she's in, she's the underdog. And she shows out sometimes, man. She definitely shows out sometimes, so you got to give her a little respect for that. She lost to Vivian Araujo. She won against Andrea Lee, which is pretty impressive. She lost against Lauren Murphy, who's fighting Shevchenko, which is going to be a pure domination for Shevchenko. Shevchenko's going to get her out of there probably within 3 rounds. Probably 2 rounds, actually. And then she beat Macy Barber, which was fucking insane. I was not expecting that. I know Macy Barber had an injury in that fight, but at the same time, I just wasn't expecting it. That was just a crazy win for her to have. She's had a shitload of fights, 25-18 record. But yeah, I'm rocking with Taila Santos. She's 17-1. She's very gritty. 10 KOs. That's a lot of KOs, especially for that weight division. She beat Jillian Robertson by UD. That's a very impressive performance to have. She beat Molly McCann by UD. That's another impressive performance to have, because Molly McCann is actually a pretty decent fighter. She can take a lot of punishment, and she likes to walk her opponents down. So yeah, I think Taila Santos gets this done, but I do think Roxanne Modafferi is going to try to get some takedowns. Probably not be able to get the takedowns, and maybe she'll get one. If she gets one, it could be a problem for Taila Santos, but I don't think she's going to get any. Her takedowns are just not good. If she can get the takedown, she does good on the ground. But if she can't get the takedown, she usually just She gets jabbed in the face most of the fight. She doesn't have any head movement. She's super flat-footed, but she still presses forward, and she's tough, so you got to respect her for that. Her last loss, Taila Santos, was back in 2019 versus Merab Barella, and that was a split decision. That's her only loss. She was on a tear before that, so, and she's back on a 2-fight winning streak. This is going to be a 3-fight winning streak. I'm rocking with Taila Santos on this one. I do want to see the height and reach disadvantage, or height and reach advantage for each one, though. So Roxanne Modafferi's 5'7", Tailo's 5'6". Roxanne has a 1-inch reach advantage. Okay, that makes sense. Roxanne normally goes to decision, and Taila usually wins by KO or TKO. I'm rocking with Taila Santos to get a first or second round KO or TKO. I think I'm going to put her in a parlay as well. Yeah, I'm going to drop my parlay picks too this week. I usually don't give anybody my parlay picks. I usually do that afterwards, after the fight cards. But from now on, I'm probably going to give people my full parlay picks, and see you guys win some money. So yeah. Next fight, Shamil Abdurmakov. I don't know how to. I always fuck up this guy's last name, but he's ranked number 7 versus Chris Daukaus is ranked number 10. Chris Daukaus is fucking beast, man. From police officer from Philly. He's a slight favorite, and he should be a slight favorite. This dude's got quick hands, man. That's all you need to know. He's got quick hands. He's got decent footwork for a big guy. He's got 11-3 record versus the Russian 20-5 record. Yeah, we already know what Shamil's going to try to do. He's very tough. He can take a fucking punch. He's going to try to walk him down against the cage and try to take him down. But Chris Daukaus, I'm pretty sure he's a black belt as well. I know his brother is. I'm pretty sure he is too. We haven't got to see Chris Daukaus on the ground. Not much. I don't think any at all in the UFC, at least. He's got 10 KOs and 2 KO losses. 1 submission loss. And his submission loss was what? By key lock to Sean Teed back in 2015. Yeah, I don't see him getting submitted. He's in way better shape than he was when he first got into the UFC. You can tell he's taking his diet and his training seriously. Chris Daukaus is, like I said, he's got very quick hands. He throws really good combinations. He backs his opponents up, and he walks them down, man. He walks them down. For Chris Daukaus, the best defense for him is more offense, which for most fighters, that should be the go-to, is more offense. We see it with some of the greats. We see it with Max Holloway. He just puts on so much offense that people don't have time to have any defense, or he doesn't even need to have any defense really either, because he's doing so much offense. There's so much output coming at people. And Chris Daukaus is known for his cardio, his output, and his quick hands. So I'm rocking with Chris Daukaus on this one. I don't know if he's going to be able to get the finish versus Shamil, because Shamil is he's tough, dude. The guy can take fucking punishment. He's got 3 KO/TKO losses. He did get TKO'd by Curtis Blades back in 2019. He's gonna want to show out for this one. He was on a 3-fight winning streak before that. 2 KO/TKOs versus Marcin Tybura and Chase Sherman. And then he had a UD win versus Andrei Arlovski. He got TKO'd by Derek Lewis in the 4th round. He got TKO'd by Timothy Johnson in the 1st round. I see him possibly getting TKO'd in the 2nd for this fight. Maybe the 3rd. I know he has a Sambo background. I don't know if he's going to be able to really use that against Chris Daukaus. Chris Daukaus has a pretty big frame, and he's got pretty good wrestling defense as well. So, yeah, 100% takedown defense. Actually, so far, no one's really in the UFC has been able to take him down yet. So we'll see what happens on that one. But I'm rocking with Chris Daukaus. He's for sure going to be in my parlays as well. I'm pretty confident in that pick. And yeah, next fight, Dan Hooker versus Nasrat Haqparast. This is going to be an interesting one because Nasrat's a known striker, and so is Dan Hooker. But Dan Hooker is also pretty slick on the ground. He's ranked number 8. It's really hard for me to pick Dan Hooker now after he lost the way he did against Michael Chandler. But I honestly feel like that was a fluke loss. I feel like if they fought out of 10 times, Dan Hooker would beat Michael Chandler 8 out of the 10 times, most likely. Not knocking Michael Chandler. Chandler's really fucking good. But I just feel like Dan Hooker's actually a better striker, and I don't think he should have got knocked out by Michael Chandler. He was off that night. Something was off. So not making any excuses. He still got KO'd, and it makes it hard for me to pick him now versus really a lot of fighters. I think the only other person that I picked against Dan Hooker was who was it? It wasn't Edson Barbosa. It might have been Edson Barbosa when I picked against Dan Hooker. I think that was the only other person that I picked against Dan Hooker. Yeah, That was probably the only other person. But anyways, Dan Hooker's 20-10 record. Hawk Pross's 13-3 record. Hooker hasn't fought since his KO loss in the first round. He has a 3-inch reach advantage and he has a 2-inch height advantage, 6 foot to 5'10". Yeah, man, Hawk Pross has really quick hands as well. He's got good footwork. He looks like he's been improving too. He's on a 2-fight losing streak for Dan Hooker, though. He did get lost to Dustin Poirier, which was a fucking crazy fight, and he went the distance with Poirier, and he put on just a really good output, a lot of output, and he took a lot of shots, which was so surprising for me to see him get KO'd the way he did against Chandler in the first round. I think he just wasn't expecting that. But before those 2 fights, he was on a 3-fight win streak. KO'd James Vick. We all seen that coming. UD versus Ally Quinta, and he went to split decision with Paul Felder, which a lot of people thought that Paul Felder won. I thought that was really close. I think it could have won either way. Hawk Pross has 9 KOs out of his 13 victories, 1 KO loss, 1 submission loss, 1 decision loss. So, yeah, his only KO loss was to Drew Dober, and Drew Dober just seemed like he was just a more dominant fighter and just overall stronger. But ever since then, he's on a 2-fight win streak, both UDs. Hawk Pross is looking for a KO, man. I can tell he's hungry for a KO. He beat Joaquim Silva by KO in the second round before the loss to Dober. He was on a 3-fight win streak against Guti and Mark Diakisi. Yeah, man. I think I'm going to rock with Dan Hooker on this one, though. I think I'm going to rock with Dan Hooker. I think he can get it done. But don't sleep on Hawk Pross. Do not sleep on that guy. He is, I don't know if I'm going to probably steer clear from this one for parlay purposes. But Hawk Pross is a plus 155. This might even out, or it could end up being Hawk Pross being a plus 200. I could see it ending up being a plus 200. But Hawk Pross is actually a pretty good underdog for this fight. Yeah, I'm rocking with Dan Hooker, though. Next fight, Marlon Magic Moraes versus Merab Dvalishvili. Ranked number 6 versus ranked number 11. I can't believe Merab Dvalishvili is such a big favorite, but at the same time, I can believe it because he's such a dominant wrestler. But he's not really that dominant. He's just really, really good at double leg takedowns, single leg takedowns, and wearing his opponents down with his cardio and his gas tank. I mean, they call him the machine for a reason. This guy does not get tired. And even when he is tired, he doesn't show it. So, I mean, Merab Dvalishvili is a fucking savage. Marlon Moraes is known for getting tired. He's got fast twitch muscle. He's got that bulkiness about him. He's got crazy, crazy kicks. We all seen what happened to Aljamain Sterling. A lot of people said it was a fluke knockout because it hit him on the knee more than the actual shin. But at the same time, it was perfect timing. Marlon Moraes, he's knocked people out with that kick a few times. I think he's got 3 or 4 head kick knockouts. 23-8 record versus a 13-4 record. He has way more fight experience, but Marlon Moraes has been KO'd/TKO'd 5 times. He's been on a downward spiral. He got TKO'd by Henry Cejudo. He was off his A game on that fight. Got super tired, it seemed like, in the 3rd round, and he was doing good. He almost caught Henry Cejudo in the 1st round. Beat Jose Aldo by split decision. That was a decent performance. Lost by spinning wheel kick by Corey Sandhagen, and lost by TKO to Rob Font by elbows and punches. So, I mean, yeah, the last 5 fights he's been KO'd and TKO'd within 3 rounds. That's not good. It looks like Marlon Moraes is kind of, I don't know. It seems like he's at his peak of age. He's at 33 years old. He's 33 years old, but something's off about Marlon Moraes. I don't know if he really had. I think he can still beat people that are coming into the UFC debuters. I think he's more of a gatekeeper. I don't think he's ever going to be a champion. I don't think Merab Dvalishvili is ever going to be a champion either. But Merab Dvalishvili has a lot of fucking heart. He's tough, and he usually goes to decision. 10 decision wins, 3 decision losses. He's only been submitted 1 time. And we all know who that was, against Ricky Simone. And it was, if they fought again, I think he would probably beat Ricky Simone. But ever since that fight, he's on a 6-fight win streak. All of them UDs. That's not really that exciting. He beat Cody Stamann, John Dodson, Gustavo Lopez, Casey Kenny, Brad Katona, and Terrion Ware. It's just not that exciting that he's not getting any kind of finishes, any TKO, TKO ground and pound, any kind of finishes. So I'm not really... That's the main reason I don't like watching Merab, is because he doesn't get finishes. When I watch a fight, I want to have a conclusion, and the decisions are not really conclusions for me. I want to see someone get KO'd, or I want to see somebody fucking get submitted, one or the other. But like I said, Merab, he's tough. He has 2 KO/TKO wins and 1 submission victory. I think he needs to work on his submission game more, and I think he needs to work on keeping his opponents on the ground so he's not getting 11 takedowns in 1 fight. If he can do that, he's going to be a very dominant wrestler and very dominant in that division. And he can, if he works on his ground and pound, his full mount, or even side control, the dude's can be really fucking good. But it's just, he's getting too many takedowns in a fight. He's not keeping his opponents down, and that's a problem. Big problem too. He's got a 1-inch reach advantage. They're both the same height. I'm rocking with Merab on this one. I think I'll probably pick him in my parlays. He's a negative 260. He definitely could get caught with a head kick or something by Marlon Moraes. Like I said, Moraes has pretty good footwork. He's got a good in and out movement, decent defense, other than his last few fights where he's been TKO'd and knocked out. It's really just his cardio, and he's going against the cardio king. So that's going to be, I can see why he's a plus 210. He's probably going to end up being a plus 300. Yeah, I'm rocking with Merab. I think he'll get it done. But those are my prelim picks, man. Sorry to all my followers, subscribers, that I didn't get my video out last week. I was fucking super busy. I wanted to get the video out, but I couldn't get it out. I'm glad I was able to get these ones out. And yeah, I'm gonna do my main card predictions pretty soon. I'll drop that video as well. So, and I'm gonna drop my parlay picks in the description. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, and enjoy the fights this weekend.